this is my second video. I will try to speak English a little better than the time before. I wanted to introduce you a couple pistols, air pistols. The first one, you have seen it already. It is the Americana Colt 1911, and I will speak about it a little after you have seen the action. The second one is a very peculiar, very particular kind of pistol. It's an old one, it's quite rare, and as long as I know, there has been no videos around. I have got some web pages, some internet information about it, but nothing really on video. So I guess this is the first time for her after 50 years. So let's start by the youngest one, the toyish one, the Colt. So this is the one. It's a cute box, plastic box with a Colt logo. It's very professional, it's very serious looking. And inside the box you'll find usually a couple of magazines, some information, and the pistol itself. You will find a small hex screw for the rear sight. Anyway, this is it. Behold the toy. Now you have seen it in action. Now let's speak about this a little bit. There are a few videos on the internet about Americana pistols in general, and there have been a few other videos about this kind of pistol, about the Americana 1911. I wanted to just point out something. First, it looks and feels and weighs just like in regular 1911. All the controls work, the grip safety, the thumb safety, they all work mostly in the same way. What it doesn't do is work just like a real auto pistol. Inside, it is just like a real revolver, 100% revolver. It's got a cylinder, 8-shot cylinder, just like the real 1911, but that's about it. It's got a double action trigger, which means that you can pull the trigger, and it's got a safety. You can pull the trigger when the loading gate, let's call it for what it is, the loading gate, which houses the barrel, is open. So it's got a double action trigger which cocks the hammer and drops the hammer, so you can just it's empty, yeah, you can just say like this and it will fire. Otherwise you can cock the hammer first and work in single action. It is rather accurate, I can say. When I first bought it, double action was a little gritty, and single action was not that good. It's long, you cannot really feel when it's going to let off. Now I just got my hand at it, I just accustomed to it, and I can say even at 20 feet you aim, she makes a hole in it, if you do your part. It's a really easy trigger when you learn to use it. It's an overall nice gun. If you want to start, if you want something that feels like a real thing, but you have to keep in mind that it's not by any stretch of imagination. It's just a nice looking toy. I can say that's about it. The second pistol is a little more interesting, just because it's a little bit of an obscure story. It's hard to follow. It's hard to find any information. It is no longer built. Its design has not been followed by anyone. Somebody a little older than me, a little older than most of the YouTube community, can recognize this box. It's from the 50s. The design was first seen in 1948. It's a spring gun that, let's say, it incorporates most of the it's peculiar in design. It's well made, like nothing today is made. It is solid. It is quite a very nice piece of artwork. Say, it is something from way back in the 50s. Okay, we can take a better look at those two pistols. The Colt, the toyish Colt, and the old toy, the high score pistol. Okay, let's just trash this out and just like a better look at this marvel, this small marvel. Okay, you see what's special about it. What is special is everything in it. Nothing is like any other spring pistol you have ever seen, and probably you'll never see again. For once, it is a bullpup design. Let's call it like this, an inverse bullpup. You see, where is the spring in it? Usually, the spring sits behind the barrel, right? The barrel stops here, and then here comes the spring and all the mechanism, the sear and the trigger. Now everything is in here, right here. What does it mean? It means that the spring and the piston is over the barrel, is concentric to the barrel, and it moves in this direction. The barrel actually is here. Nice. Can you see it? Yeah, it's very particular. So what does happen is that when you close it, there is a sear which keeps the spring from pushing, and when you release it by the trigger, it moves this way over the barrel. It has actually two different of not O-rings, not plastic O-rings or rubber. It's got two car-like springs in it. I don't know how you call it. You know, a piston in a car, it does have those tiny rings to keep the pressure. This is the same. It is very precise made. So the piston will slide this way, so you will feel a very gun-like recoil. Usually piston guns recoil this way, okay? This one recoils upwards, just like a real gun. It is very, it's a real weird feeling. And when it pushes the air all around the barrel until just before the opening, you put a pallet in here, you close it. It works just like a camera shutter. It closes, you tighten it. It's got a screw system in it, so when you tighten it up, it will stop air from leaking off from it. So the piston will drive the air through here inside the barrel and come off with the pellet this way. This makes for a very short handgun, still having a 10-inch barrel. Yeah, 10 inch is not short by any means. This makes for a virtually very theoretically very accurate gun, and it is very accurate. The trigger is really fine. It's very light, it's very sharp, And considering that this pistol is really 50 years old, it is being sitting on a shelf at a friend's house that came some days ago, stopped by a few days ago, and just said, "Hi, I got a present for you." And at first I didn't really know what it was. I thought it was, oh, that's cool, it's an old toy. No, it's not a toy. It was marketed like the most powerful air pistol. Probably. I have tried it. It is quite powerful indeed. It's not weak, I can tell you. Now I have to discharge it just to let you see another peculiar thing about it. You'll hear quite a pop. Now it is unloaded now. Another thing is that usually spring guns have a heavy trigger, quite a heavy trigger, because you have to keep the piston. What is this? It's 50-year-old rust, probably. I have cleaned it a little bit, but you can see the bluing. Consider it was marketed probably as a toy. It was sold for $19, the base version, and $24, the target version, which is this one. $24, and it's got quite a nice shine to it still. You can see the roll marks. The roll marks are a little bit rusty, but you can see they're actually made better than an 80 series Colt. It's well made. Don't look at these cheesy stampings here that just don't look right. Anyway, another cool thing is that to reduce the trigger pull weight, what they made is there's a sear in it. You open it, the sear is cocked. You close it again. You can dry fire it forever without ruining anything. You are not going to load the main spring. The main spring is still downloaded, say, is still without any pressure on it. The sear instead is cocked, and you can dry fire without any worry. The sights, have you ever seen a buckhorn sights on a pistol? Really, this is the first time, I guess. Again, it's a very fine piece of Americana, a very fine piece of what the American gun builders, inventors could do. That's all about it. I think grips, like everything in the 50s, it had to be a technological breakthrough, and these grips are made by General Electric. It was a very special plastic just for this pistol, I guess. Everything in this pistol is unique, really. I say just take a look at the rifling if you can. Where is the rifling? Hello. There you go. Okay, you cannot see the rifling, but anyway, trust me, there is. Oh, there you go.